time to welcome our next two players. Would you please welcome on stage from Scotland, into his third European Tour event at only 24 years of age, it's Big Willie William Borland! And his opponent from Austria, a former World Match Play finalist and a former Champions League of Darts champion. It's the gentle Suljovic!
Let's press on with the Hungarian Darts Trophy here in Budapest. And has anybody seen Suljovic? Oh, there he is. I didn't recognize him for a second because he's got the Clark Kents on. He's got glasses. We haven't seen him for 5 months. It's been a mystery as to what form he's in. You know, he's had some stuff going on at home. Whatever that is, it's none of our business, quite frankly. But it's great to see him back. And of course, it is 2 years and 3 days since his last PDC title win in a European Tour event. That was in Vienna on September the 1st, 2019. What a memorable night that was, when he won by the odd leg against MVG at the Multiversum. A day that is etched in my memory. But as far as this game is concerned, I think we pretty much know what we're going to get from Willie Borland. We're going to get an average, at least in my opinion, of around 87, 88, which is what he did yesterday. But what are we going to get from Mensah?
First leg, Mensah to throw first. Game on.
Thoughts of Jaws Colin Lloyd?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. We haven't seen him for so many months. Has he been away practicing? Has he been playing in anything a little bit local? We don't know. What we do know,
55.
Paul, is that he knows where to go in these events. He's been the Austrian Darts Championship winner, like you said, the Danish Darts
180.
As young Willie kicks in with the 180. One thing's for sure, Willie's going to be ready for Mensah. Is Mensah ready for Willie?
That is a great point. Very
85.
well made. And as to this mystery of what kind of form Suljovic is in, I do have one little tidbit of information.
93.
Because I heard from a very reliable source, I do not really reveal my sources though, that he did have a practice game with Rusty Jake Rodriguez a little bit earlier this season.
140.
And he got absolutely drilled in it. First to 21 legs, and I heard it was 21-2.
94.
To Rusty Jake Rodriguez. That's just going to show how well Rusty Jake is playing right now. But what we're seeing from Mensah so far is change. I'm not just talking about the glasses. I'm talking about these darts are different
60.
to what we've seen
William,
from him
you
before.
require 134.
But it's Borland who gets the jump. A single 14.
94.
On tops after
Mensah,
12.
you require 161.
Very good recipe for success.
The thing is, Paul, you can change as much as you like. Just keep a bit quiet here. Bullseye for a 161.
136. William, you require 40.
Heart must have been in his mouth at that point.
Game shot on the first leg.
Nice little
William
tidy up
Borland.
there. And a break of throw.
Second leg, William to throw first. Game
The point
on.
I was going to say, Paul, it's all right making all these adjustments, the glasses, the darts and whatever. And listen, behind the scenes,
97.
this could all be working for Mensah. The one thing you can't practice, unless you're actually doing it, is match practice. You can practice with whoever you like. You can practice with someone who's a million a month in the world, or the #1 in the world. It's just a practice session. It's not meaningless. It gives you an idea where your game is, but match practice.
123.
That's why a lot of people might think that Willie Borland is the favourite for this, because he's been playing regularly all year. He's been doing little bits and bobs, but he understands that he needs to do a little bit more. And in making the Sunday of a European Tour event, that is a sign of progress for him. But me and Dan Dawson have hung out together a lot over the course of the summer. And we looked at the seedings for this in Gibraltar. We looked at Mensah Suljovic thinking, how is he still 14 seed? Well, obviously at the end of 2020 and start of this year, he'd done enough to maintain his seeding here, but now he has to protect
140.
Over the
Will
next
he
two
require
European
147?
He leaves 161 again, but again for Borland, he's in a better position.
59. Mensah, you require 161.
Only time's going to tell. Very early days of this match. But Willie looks very keen and very eager.
65.
Putting a good solid performance
Willie, you
yesterday,
require
Paul, against
88.
Johan Ekström.
He did. It's a tough game. Willie Borland
In
takes
from
out
the
double
second
14
leg,
against
William
Mensah
Borland.
Suljovic.
Select Mensah to throw first. Game on.
That's a bit like knocking on Mensah's door and saying, ha ha, I took your double. Well, it's 2-0 to Willie Borland. This is an ideal start for Scott. He's going to fancy this now. And when he gets in the groove, he can really group those darts together. It's just going to get better this afternoon with some of the games that are to come. But what we have in this section of the draw is the winner of this against the winner of Peter Wright and Florian Hempel. Now, I'm really looking forward to that game tonight because
84.
I've been told that Peter Wright is the most favoured dart player in Hungary, and they are going to turn up tonight solely for him. Could be a good atmosphere.
140.
Well, if they are, that'll put an enormous amount of pressure on Florian Hempel. But what I saw of him yesterday,
Mensah,
is a guy that
require
just gets on with his game,
126.
so could be in for some fireworks, methinks, Paul.
Yeah, there's no pressure on Hempel later. But there is pressure on Borland in this leg, and
94.
sensibly, Mensah Suljovic goes to the single 18 instead of taking the bullseye route.
43.
He's got plenty of
Mensah,
time.
you require 32.
But for his own confidence, on his own throw, he'd like to take this right away. Double 8.
Game
just
the
about
third
in.
leg. Mensah
I'd have
Suljovic.
had to check
Fourth leg, William
either
to
left or
throw
right to
first.
see if that was
Game
in.
on.
Because the first dart was obscuring it, but it's always unusual to see a player in glasses
60.
after they've not worn them their entire career.
Yeah.
It was the same with Gary Anderson. Obviously, Phil Taylor wore glasses for a little while, not for long. But some players suit them, some players don't. Nah,
60.
I think maybe now's the time for Mensah Suljovic to, maybe experiment with a few different frames.
I was just going to say,
59.
does anyone know whether Mensah wore glasses away from the hockey? Did he
don't.
wear contacts?
I don't know, but that's a really good point, Colin, because I know for a fact that Wes Newton never wore glasses at darts.
96.
But always wore glasses away from darts.
Yep.
We've seen players, of course, go in for
93.
surgery to correct their vision because, let's face it, in a hand-eye coordination sport, having good vision is paramount. Kevin Painter didn't need glasses, but still refined his vision. I went from wearing glasses,
100.
had surgery, and haven't worn them since. It was a good move. It helped me. Willie Borland is seeing plenty of this 60.
140.
Yeah, the nice thing I'm liking here, Paul, is Willie's not panicked. He's still got what we call that mini break. He broke Mensah, so it's up to Mensah now to break it back.
100. William, you require
Willie must be thinking in his head
149.
now, as long as I hold my throw. If I hold my throw, I get over the line. He'd like to get it done a bit sooner than that, don't get me wrong.
72 left.
125. Mensa, you require 145.
See, he didn't panic right there. He definitely didn't. And he wasn't sure in that shot. He just took a little breather. All seems to be going his way so far.
William,
He's not
you require
making
24.
mistakes. Double 12. And he doesn't make a mistake there. He shows a bit of gumption against Suljovic,
Game on.
who isn't that far from home. You want to get from Vienna to Budapest, it's not that far.
Yep.
Driving just a few hours.
Yeah. Well, both guys are averaging 96.11 now. Well, not now, because obviously Mensa's had his throw.
I've seen that a few times this week already.
140.
Is that a sign that maybe we're going to get a really close final tomorrow night when this place is jumping with over 4,000 fans? There you see the angle of entry for Mensa Suljovic, and with this setup,
140.
with that moulded flight, which is something he started to use 12 months ago, I think the darts are going in slightly more upright than they were before. He was always someone who would lay them on top of each other, but now his game is evolving, and they are going in a bit more upright.
Totally agree.
There you see him attempt to try and stack it over the top, but when you've got that upright angle, it's so much more difficult to do that.
Yeah.
You've got to float them, you've got to give them air.
40.
Yeah. Well, Willie will be thinking to himself here,
140.
I can snatch the throw, and that's exactly what he's done. A nice 140 there to leave himself 81 after 9 darts against the throw. Mensa's going to think to himself, I need to match that now to put a bit of pressure on the finish. Is he going to fill it up?
140.
A lot of people might have gone 25 or bull there just to eliminate the bullseye possibility, but it's 16 for that bull for Willie. Ooh,
56.
Shakes the wire.
Mensa, you require 81.
So if you hit the 25, you leave 76, which takes the bullseye out of the equation. We've just seen the 81 attempt from Willie Borland. Similar result so far, but he doesn't get a shot. That was greedy, Mensa. You know it was greedy. When he hasn't been playing matches, I think you need to play safe. And the safe option now is the big 12.
49. William, you require 25.
Don't miss the big number.
As we call it. Double 8. Oh, right in the corner.
William Borland.
Just like an Archie Gemmill free kick, that one.
Now
from Willie Borland.
Now that
sixth leg, William to third first. Game on.
It's a break. Not a mini break, it's a proper break. And can he capitalise on it?
95.
If he holds his throw here, Mensa's in all kinds of trouble. He's in trouble already. He's 4-1 down. And Willie looks extremely confident at the moment with his game. Seems very calm and relaxed.
100.
He should be confident, averaging 98 in this match. And based on what he's done this season so far, that's a good 8% jump.
140.
Before this match began, a season average of 90.63 over the course of 44 matches. He's played 12 more matches. In fact, it's 13 more matches than Mensa this year, but we haven't seen Mensa since the Players' Championships that took place in Niedenhausen in late April. He decided to withdraw from the World Match Play, and we were all just hoping that he was okay, because withdrawing from the World Match Play, a tournament that he had done really well in before. But he did say he didn't like Blackpool that much, even though he got to the final.
Well, 140. William, you require 126.
Don't pull out of a major. To me, Paul is still the second biggest. The Worlds, then the match play. It's huge.
This is huge.
101.
Oh, he shakes it again. He's
Mensa
nearly there
121.
for a 5-1 lead against Suljovic, and there you see Suljovic retreating to the table for a small sip of water, because, quite frankly, this has got to go, and if it doesn't, I do not see a way back for Mensa Suljovic.
No, I totally agree with you. That's why I think he took the step back, Paul, to try and regroup, and that's a great first dart. He needs a little red dot.
96.
He gets just as close as Willie did.
William, you require 25.
He couldn't believe his eyes, that fan. Look again. because
Games
Willie
on the
Borland is
sixth leg.
5-1
William
ahead.
Borland.
Does
Seventh
Willie
leg
Borland
Mensa
have some
to
fans
so
out
first.
there?
Game on.
I assumed, because Mensa Suljovic lives only a matter of hours from here, that he might have a few fans in the crowd.
180.
To be fair, Paul, we haven't seen Mensah for around the
95.
5-month mark, so we didn't know what Mensah was going to turn up. Basically, he's averaging just shy of 102 at this moment in time, but he's getting beat 5-1.
94.
Yeah, the timing hasn't been great. Some of his
No.
shots have been in vain. And Borland has had all
45.
of the better opportunities with his 99 average. He's just gone down towards the 97 mark with that last throw, but let's face facts. Willie Borland is in
95.
a decent groove this year. He's had some good runs to last 16s.
60.
On 3
Mensa you require
occasions.
132.
Ultimately losing out to some very good players. But Suljovic here doesn't have to go the bull route. Maybe trying to manufacture a bit of confidence
60.
by going the bullseye route and maybe giving himself a chance of a big out, which would ignite this crowd a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Paul, in
44.
the context of this
Mensa
match.
you require
Out of 6
72.
legs, we've got 4 14 darters, a 13 darter, and an 18 darter.
Yeah, not bad. Oh,
No
Mensah.
score.
Well, I was just about to say it. I like the play with William Borland on 257, 2 singles for double 16, and not leaving himself on something like double 6. That would have been a perfect plan. He misses the big number for the second
125.
time in the
Mensa you
match.
require 72.
Now there is pressure on this. Go higher.
I don't like the shot. I just don't like it.
56. William you
personally,
require
I don't-
132.
That can always happen, Paul. Doesn't matter how good or how well you're playing.
Whoa, that was 57 ball for the match. Borland fancied it.
64. Mensa you require 16.
Might have to go a little bit further back before he goes forward. Double eight
Games
is a
on the
belter
7th
right in the
leg.
middle.
Mensa Suljovic.
But I'm not looking at
8th
Mensa
leg,
Suljovic
William
and seeing a
to
great
first.
deal of
Game
joy
on.
right now. He looks a little bit forlorn.
Yeah.
57.
Yeah, just looking at Willie Borland's season, he has made 3 last 16s, which is very respectable. Lost out to Darius Labanauskas.
140.
Lost out to Aaron Beanie in the last 16 back in April, which was Aaron Beanie's best run. And that was a chance for Willie Borland
100.
on that occasion. Costume of the day right there. Everybody lift your game. There's the benchmark. As far as his other last 16,
140.
that came in his very last Players' Championship, so he is in a bit of form. He lost out to Johnny Clayton there. No shame in that.
125.
But it could be a last 16 here, and the last 16 in a Euro Tour is a bit more cash than it is in a Players' Championship.
Yeah. Yeah.
3,000 pounds if you get to
140.
Sunday. Last 16 in a Players' Championship is half that.
99.
Will do his
Mensa
chances of
require
making the World
81.
Championship a lot of good, and the European Championship, of course.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, 31 left. Of course it's double 14. We might not have
Games on
seen
the
Mensa
8th leg.
Suljovic for a
Mensa
while,
Suljovic.
but some things just never change.
9th leg,
His look
Mensa
for double
to
14,
first.
when he
Game
really
on.
needs it, it's still there.
Yeah. Willie's just got to be a little bit careful here, Paul. Mensah's got the throw here. If he can just hold his throw, I just hope Willie hasn't seen the finish
95.
line before it actually happens. Because Mensah will just keep going and going and going.
57.
I said a little bit earlier on that when you play on Saturday, after playing on Friday, it's usually a step up in class and quality. Well, Engström did cause problems for Willie Borland
61.
yesterday, but with all due respect to the Swede, Mensa Suljovic is a bit more of a seasoned winner and performer
125.
than Johan Engström. But Borland has lifted his level by a good 7 points today. That's admirable. And Suljovic has played decent, but he's needing snookers from this
60.
position.
needs to fill it. Sometimes feel, Paul, these guys, sometimes when they throw quick like that, because they've hit the 60 the first dart and they throw quick, I sometimes feel they don't put the snap into the second dart. And that's why you end up throwing a dart low.
140.
You've got to give it 100% effort with every single dart.
Well, Willie Borland gets a last
Menzi require 145.
That could be a massive dart for his chances of winning this match. He has to watch on first. Suljovic will not take the 145, so it's 82 points.
89.
Separate Willie Borland from the next round. 17 leaves tops.
62.
That could have been job done. Here's the thing.
Menzi require
he's not
56.
guaranteed to get any more match darts from here if Suljovic can close him out. First job, double 18.
I fancy this.
Games on the 9th leg. Mensa Suljovic.
Mystic Lloydie
10th
is
leg
right.
William to throw first.
What numbers
Game
later,
on.
Lloydie?
The thing about it is, Paul, it's the same as anything. Mensel's got so much
96.
experience. He's been in this situation so many times before. You know, I think William's just looking just a little bit too far ahead. Come back into the now, start throwing the stuff that you were earlier on, and you can still get the job done.
What's fascinating to me is that we both know Willie Borland's manager, Matt Ward. And in single thing last year, Mensa Suljovic was playing Jamie Hughes, who was also managed by Matt Ward. And Matt will be watching today. Hello, Matt. And he'll remember that game for the reason I'm about to mention. Because
60.
Suljovic was 5-0 down to Jamie Hughes. Suljovic won 6-5. Suljovic has won the last 3 legs here, and Matt Ward is sweating. Probably about as much as Willie Borland is right now.
98.
Well, after 9 darts, he's sitting on a 167. I was just about to say Mensah needs a 180 to get back in the leg, so Willie's definitely going to get at least 6 darts to clean up the 167.
William, you require
this is where you want a nice
167.
tiny 131. Leave yourself on double 18.
59.
Pick up a treble, and that invites Mensa Suljovic in. He's closed the gap on the score. So if a maximum comes in here, needs a 140.
100.
But doesn't get it, comes up short.
William, you
That was a late
require
release.
108.
He'll be disappointed after that first dart.
Borland really wants that 60. We wanted to try and finish Mensa off on the Mensah. I think the 48 might have been the shot there.
45.
I think you're probably right. He was
Mensa,
creeping
you
over,
require
creeping over, creeping
141.
over. And now whatever happens, he still needs to hit a treble in the next shot to seal the match. How much pressure is he going to be under?
Plenty.
105.
Willie Borland has only
63.
scored 104 points in his last 6 darts, but he only needs 24 more. Signs of nerves as the dart is dropped.
39.
And 2 more match darts are missed. That's now 3 in 2
36.
legs. Suljovic to take us all the way. Needs double 18. Fancy this one?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Not a shadow of a doubt.
Game
And he's
on
right.
the 10th
And I think he was in
leg.
exactly the same
Suljovic.
puncture hole as the last one.
11th and deciding
Oh,
leg.
brilliant
Mensa
belief
to throw first.
From someone
Game
who
on.
really has tinkered with the psychological aspect of the game. He has played darts and ice skates. He has erected wigwams in preparation for mental challenges within the game. But right now, for the very first time, Mensa Suljovic is the favourite.
If Menzel does get through this game, Paul, and I'm only saying if he does,
60.
I think he'd have proved something not only to himself, but to the rest of the players to say, yes, I've been away for 5
85.
months, but don't think I can't play darts still.
What was the biggest hiatus that you had in your career for whatever reason? I won't go and delve, but what was the biggest one you had?
Joe, honestly, Paul, I don't think I ever took any
100.
time out. The only time I ever took any time out, went on holiday, and I wanted to come back home after. I was there for 2 weeks
125.
in Tobago, and I wanted to come home after 3 days.
So you weren't like Wes Newton, who would go to Vegas on holiday and play in the Las Vegas Open as well and win it.
No. I honestly don't. I don't remember taking any time out. You know, fair play to Mensah. If he needed some time out for whatever reason, he's done it, and now he's back. And it's a joy to have him.
140.
Mensah's been tested today. I've mentioned that kind of sense a lot over the course of this match. But Willie Borland has been tested here too. And that last 140 of his,
55.
that was gutsy because it's now given him 6 darts from 151. He couldn't take 167 in 9 darts to win the match in the last leg. But he's going to give himself another opportunity. The number's pretty small. 58 separate him from the next round. Now, he's got a battle against himself.
Yeah.
I've missed before. Can I hit this time? But here comes the pressure.
138.
Okay,
Will
Willie.
you require 58?
Can you answer the question? Just gets the single. But
Game
does get the
shot
tops.
on the mat.
And finally gets
Willie
over the line with his
Borland.
4th match dart. Suljovic has been missing for the last 5 months. We have missed him. And we're not going to see him on Sunday because he's been eliminated by 6 legs to 5. One of the seeds is gone. And Suljovic, if he wants to get to the European Championship, is going to have to win something in Gibraltar. We're going to see more devastating dartistry as we come back. In the next match, it's Devin Peterson, the 9th seed, up against Luke Humphries. But before that, let's get a word with Willie Borland.
Into round 3, William Borland. Willie, I nearly jinxed it there for you. I was speaking to Dan Dawson backstage when you were 5-1 up, and I said, knowing Mensah, this could be 5-5 in a couple of minutes. And it was. He never lies down, does he?
No, he played very well. I think he struggled at the start, but then again, he scored in power and the doubles came in. I was like, when I was 5-1 up, I was scoring well, and I was like hitting some bad darts, but nah, fair play to Mensah, a great comeback there, but just glad to get over the line there.
In round 3, an all-Scottish battle could be on the cards if Peter Wright defeats Florian Hempel tonight. Any thoughts on maybe facing the world number 2?
Again, as I said, I've got nothing to lose. I'm enjoying it here. Do you know what I mean? Played a great player there in Mensah. Just happy to get over the line. It's all experience, so it doesn't matter who I play. I'm just going to come up and enjoy it and try and win.
Certainly looks like you've got this Hungarian crowd on your side here.
Yeah, definitely. Now, listen, thank you. It's great to have the fans back in, so it's good to play in front of a crowd for the first time, so I'm happy with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Big Willie, William Borland. And we'll be back in 1 or 2 minutes with our next match of this afternoon session. It's going to be an absolutely cracking one. Cool End Luke Humphries against the African warrior, Devin Peterson.